Hey guys, Noah Best Drummer here. This is part 15, I think it's part 15, of my Contempt of Court Let's Play. So, we finished the first part of the trial, which had some very wonky contradictions. I will admit, I got a little bit angry. I apologize for that. But now we're going to cross-examine the witness and probably run into more contradiction bullshit. So, court is now back in session. Mr. Brisbane, is your witness prepared? Yes, now call him in here already. Very well, the court summons this witness to the stand. Oh, it's the bellboy. Say, you look familiar, witness. Have we met before? Why, yes, sir, we have. I'm flattered that you remembered. I once testified to a murder concerning the Gatewater Hotel, Your Honor. Him again? Alright, a murder in a hotel. I should have known he'd be involved. Right, can we have your name and profession, please? I'm the only bellboy of the Maplethorpe Hotel, sir. Right, and your name? I prefer not to give my name, sir, for the pride of my profession. You are in a court of law. You are required to... I'm sure we can trust his testimony without knowledge of his name. We have done this before, after all. Gah, fine. Witness, did you say that you now work at the Maplethorpe Hotel? Oh, right, you're wondering about the Gatewater uniform, yes? Well, I very much loathe to leave the Gatewater, sir. After all, the hotel had since become... the Gatewater Hotel, Murder Manor. Well, I admit I kept the title to myself. It didn't catch on, I take it. How is this even relevant? Why did you leave? There was another job for me, sir. It was at a place also run by Gatewater. How could I have refused? Oh, what was your new job? I'd rather not talk about it, sir. But it was only a short while, until I yearned for the bellboy profession once again. So here I am at the Maplethorpe Hotel. And the owner was kind enough to let me keep the uniform, sir, as I feel my heart still belongs to the Gatewater. Touching. Are we done here now? Can we have your testimony, Mr. Bellboy? Of course, sir. I'm always happy to help. So the bellboy is the sole witness, huh? I wonder what he knows. Well, let's see now. I was in the hallway at around 1 a.m. I was watching Miss Rubin. She was standing outside room 206 with a tray. Roughly a minute later, I heard a gunshot and a scream from the room. Oh yes, and I clearly remember the black gloves she was wearing beforehand. Thank you for your testimony, witness. You may begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. So the bellboy was the sole witness, or as close to a witness as he could be. Why were you hanging around that early in the morning? A guest had requested room service, sir. But on my way down, Miss Rubin appeared from the stairs. You were watching her? Yes, sir. Is there something wrong? There is, as a matter of fact. Why were you blushing? Why are you blushing? Am I, sir? I didn't even notice. Yes, witness, you've turned quite a deep shade of red. Oh, it's nothing, Your Honor, I can assure you. Oh dear, I think I know what's happening here. Ahem, so why were you watching her so late at night? I assure you I did nothing untoward, sir. I was just leaving the second floor, heading towards the elevator, when I saw Miss Rubin appear from the stairs. I wondered what she was up to so late at night, so I silently watched what she was doing. You can confirm that both the sounds came from the victim's room? Absolutely, sir, without a doubt. There are a few things that bother me about the bellboy right now. What should I ask? Where were you? So where were you when you heard these sounds? Hold on. I was in the second floor. I was still in the second floor corridor, sir. Is there a problem? There is, actually. Why were you still on the second floor? I thought you were on your way down. Yes, well, the elevator wasn't working, sir. Oh yeah, it wasn't, was it? Wait, but you came up in the elevator, didn't you? Yes, it was functioning just fine when I used it. So what time did you arrive at the second floor? It was about 5 minutes before Miss Rubin arrived, sir. 5 minutes. My guess Maris was busy tending to her wound at that time. I want to ask another question. So why was... So what were you doing on the second floor? A guest requested room service, sir. Actually, it was the victim, Mr. Niff, sir. What? The bellboy delivered something to the victim too? You mean the victim asked you to deliver something as well? Yes, sir. I too thought it was a bit strange when Miss Rubin delivered something too. That's why I was watching her, you see. So what did you deliver to the victim? A cup of coffee, Your Honor. Coffee? Exactly the same thing Maris delivered. Why would the victim order the same thing twice, and at different times? Witness, are you sure it was coffee? Absolutely, indubitably, and indeed, sir. This is interesting. It didn't happen, witness. I'm fairly certain it... No, it didn't happen. There wasn't another cup found in the victim's room. Just the one the defendant brought in. I think there's one more question I can ask. These sounds. Can you describe the sounds you heard in as much detail as you can? Very good, sir. It was a female scream, undoubtedly the defendant's resonant voice, but it was the gunshot that really made me jump out of my skin, sir. It was a loud, booming noise. Loud and booming? That was quite a lot of questioning for one statement, Mr. Wright. Is there anything of value you wish to add to the testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'd like the bellboy to add this information to his testimony. Out of these, I'm gonna save. I would say in front of the room service, because Brisbane is over there saying it didn't happen, but the bellboy says it did. So, Linus, could you tell us more about the room service? Objection. Irrelevant. That doesn't relate to the defendant's movements. No, I suppose it doesn't. Just through again. Is there anything about you? Okay, so it doesn't take away anything. Okay, witness, could you tell us more about the gunshot you heard? Very good, witness. Well, it's as I said, sir. It's a loud booming gunshot, very loud, in fact. What am I doing? Are you sure you can identify the sound as a gunshot? Definitely so, sir. Unmistakably the sound of a gunshot. I'm very lost. I have nothing. I can't think of anything, so I think I'm gonna look at the guide for this. Okay. Alright, so it is apparently the gun. A small caliber revolver. And that's apparently why, because it's too small of a gun to have made that noise, but I don't like that contradiction. That I just don't. I guess I'll see where they're going with this, but are you sure the sound was that loud, witness? Quite possibly the loudest sound I've ever heard, sir. Why? What's wrong? Just doesn't add up. Don't defense attorneys just speak frankly anymore. Get to the point. If the gunshot the bellboy heard was so loud and booming, then this gun couldn't have been the murder weapon. For you see, this gun is a small caliber revolver. Clearly something incapable of producing a sound so loud. You may have a point, Mr. Wright, a firearm of that size. I object. I object. Overruled. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Mr. Wright, please do continue. There were no other firearms found in or around the hotel or on the guests. Where did this imaginary other gun come from? Finally, I can use the wall shield. Seen this before, Brisbane? Isn't that the shield on the wall of the hotel's lobby? Wait. You're not. You're honestly not. I might be. That is suggesting that one of the pistols on this shield might have been the real murder weapon. Nope, they forgot to edit in the courtroom there. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what are these items doing in a hotel? They're decorations, Your Honor. Antique flintlock pistols, which to my knowledge produce a very loud sound. Say that part again. They were antique flintlock, not that part. Something about the pistols being decorations. They must have been decommissioned for display purposes. Do you know that for a fact, Brisbane? Why don't you ask the witness about them then? Well, I'm not so sure myself, sir. Maybe these pistols are worth looking into. Bailiff, please contact the police department about an examination of the lobby's pistols. Before you even think about such a thing, I want Mr. Wrong to tell us why he thinks these pistols are even worth investigating. How do you mean, Mr. Brisbane? I want the defense to prove that these pistols were even touched that night. There was something I noticed about those pistols yesterday. I just need to remember what it was. Very well. The wall shield was disturbed that night. I can prove this because a pistol was missing, I believe? There was only one pistol on it. A pistol was missing. Oh, really? We only have your word for that? No, yes. Damn, I have no way of proving that a pistol was missing. I need to think of another way. Please let me try again, Your Honor. I do not appreciate valuable time being wasted, Mr. Wright. You have one more chance. If the dust was disturbed, they would know. The dust was disturbed. Have a close look at the shield once more. I couldn't put my finger on it before, but now I know what's wrong. The shield was covered in dust, but now if you look at the pistol on the top, there's no dust on it at all. It does appear less faded than the other. Why, you're absolutely right. There's no dust on this pistol. Bailiff, order an examination of this pistol post-haste. Who is that just now? That would have been me, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I hope I haven't caused you any inconvenience, but I couldn't see that pistol anywhere in the victim's room that night, sir. Huh? It wasn't at the scene? Brisbane was right. Hold on a minute. What do you mean you couldn't find it? I was the first person to stumble upon the scene, sir. What? Why didn't you tell us this before, witness? It must have slipped my mind, Your Honor. I apologize profoundly. You can apologize by testifying as to what you found. So the bellboy was the one to see the scene before the other guests. What did he see? Will it change anything? The door was ajar. I entered literally seconds after I heard the noise. She just stood there. The victim was lying dead with the revolver on the floor. She was muttering the word ghost, but she was the only person in the room. Ghost, you say? Are you sure you heard her correctly, witness? I'm fairly certain that was what she was saying, sir. Oh, come on, Judge. You can't seriously believe this. Maybe the defendant was mistaken? You may begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry, Miss Rubin. How many seconds? I'm not in the habit of remembering exact measurements of time, sir. Basically, I headed for the victim's room as soon as I heard the noise. And you were about to use the elevator, correct? That's correct. I see. So when you entered, what was Miss Rubin doing? She just stood there. The victim was lying dead with the revolver on the floor. Wait. Really, go back. Can you describe in more detail exactly what you saw, witness? Exactly, you say? Well, Miss Rubin was standing not too far away from the door. She was frozen with shock and she was stammering incoherently to herself. I don't think she even heard me come in, sir. My attention was then drawn to the body lying face up in the middle of the room, and I saw the gun. It was about 10 feet away from the body, near the bed. This doesn't help me at all. Push, I thought you'd stumble onto something to help your case. Start producing evidence or this cross-examination is over. You don't know that for a fact. I'm afraid I have to disagree with you, sir. There are no other exits from the guest rooms apart from the doors. And the windows don't open wide enough for somebody to squeeze through. Correct. And the investigation turned up these same facts too. So stop grasping and start producing evidence wrong. Unless you're trying to prove that this ghost actually existed. She couldn't have been seeing things. Maybe she did see another being in the room. But how do they prove something like that? Oh, okay. The coat rack. She saw the coat rack standing up, and she thought it was the ghost. I believe you examined this witness's testimony enough by now, Mr. Wright. Have you found any contradictions or not? I can't. I can't even think, let alone prove that what Mara saw is true. I need more time to investigate. No, Your Honor. The defense has nothing to say. My, are you admitting defeat, Mr. Wrong? Far from it, Brisbane. Your Honor, I'd like more time to investigate. More time? But the crime scene has been thoroughly investigated enough already. What would you possibly gain from examining it again? He has a point. Looking at the crime scene again wouldn't bring about any new results. So what or where should I request to examine? Your Honor, I believe there is a part of the hotel that has been overlooked. Nothing has been overlooked. Snow was under my careful watch yesterday. Not that careful, seeing as you left him at the crime scene on his own. May I continue? Go ahead, you're wasting your time, though. So tell us, Smarty, which part of the hotel should be investigated? The first floor. The first floor. Why that floor in particular? The night before the murder, as I was checking into the hotel, sorry. Miss Rubin told me something. Promise me you won't go to the first floor. It's just that with the renovations going on, it's quite dangerous up there. Oh, no problem. Why would I want to go to the first floor anyway? Did you and Snow check the first floor at all? I don't believe we did, no. You didn't? Why ever not? 2 reasons. 1, you heard the defense. There were apparently renovations going on. And 2, we didn't find it relevant. The crime happened on the 2nd floor, after all. I see. I agree with the defense. I believe a full investigation of the hotel is required. Therefore, I grant the police permission to investigate the first floor. I have to agree with Brisbane, though. How exactly can the first floor be relevant? But it's the only untouched part of the hotel. There has to be something. Thank you for your testimonies, Bellboy. You may step down from the stand now. The pleasure was all mine, Your Honor. Anything I can do for justice. I grant permission for 1 more day of investigation, namely the first floor of the Maplethorpe Hotel. However, if no new information or evidence is found before court reconvenes tomorrow, the court will regard the Bellboy's testimonies as reliable and Miss Rubin will be found guilty. 1 more day of investigation. I have to find something or this will have all been for nothing. Very well. This trial will continue tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned. So what happens now, Mr. Wright? The police are allowed 1 more day of investigation. I promise I will do all I can to help you. I was telling the truth. Huh? About what? About the ghost. I swear on my life that I saw him. You have to believe me. It's not the disbelief of the ghost that I'm concerned about. It's proving that the ghost was present. Miss Rubin? Are you alright? Would you like to... Ah! Miss Rubin, what's wrong? I remember. Something. She's trembling like crazy. What's the matter? What did you remember? I remember... shooting someone. She passed out. Well, that's not good. She finally remembered the key moment of the night. I remember shooting someone. I don't believe it. She shot Mr. Niff after all? That doesn't explain the vertical trajectory. So, I don't think so. So, you know what? Next time, we're gonna go through this investigation segment, figure out what happened, and we'll solve this case once and for all.